everyone, another interesting week has gone by. Here are some of the stories we will be looking at. Pupils of the King David School in Teshie are back in class after being scared out because of a chieftaincy dispute. Angry residents in Ashaiman brought the area to a standstill. They were unhappy about the bad roads in the community. A 13-year-old who was there shares his experience. On the light side though, we meet movie producers Socrates Safo and Damfu B.A. We want to know what's up with yes, you guessed it, movie titles. These and so much more coming up in News Generation. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell Milk.
Almost even tough stains in just one step. Daily Blue Band, Daily Grow.
Now, pupils of the King David School were back in their classrooms 4 days after they were hustled out of their school following a chieftaincy dispute. Although the confusion is still fresh on the minds of the children, they are determined to enjoy classes no matter the odds.
Pupils and teachers of the King David School were at the heart of chieftaincy clashes at Teshie. The school went on midterm break immediately after, but the children are back in school now. School authorities explained some people were absent because it was the first time the school was returning from midterm break on a Monday.
If I write this one, where is all? Four. So first one is all.
Teachers, together with some counselors, took the pupils through some sessions. The pupils said they hope they will never have to endure such a harrowing experience again.
When I came in the morning, I was still feeling nervous because I thought they would return to this place to come and burn it like how they said. But we had a morning devotion and I saw that we are all fine and secure.
It feels good to come back to school. And as you can see, I'm happy to see most of my friends also in school and enjoying classes and also the teachers. I think those who are not here, they are still afraid, but I want to tell them that here we are free, nothing has happened to us. No matter what happened, I'll still come to the school.
The school had only one functional exit and entry point, but school authorities say they are working on creating more entry and exit points with security personnel.
So the first sound is all.
Now from Teshie to Ashaiman, where for more than 6 hours, business activities there came to a standstill. Why? Some residents were angry about the poor nature of the roads in the community. They blocked streets and set car tires ablaze. 13-year-old Moro Zakaria was there when it happened. He said it was a scary and confusing experience.
A group of people were burning tires. Actually, I don't know what happened, so I went to a certain man and I asked him what happened. And he told me that the drivers are protesting against the government that they will not let anyone use his or her car to pass there unless the road has been reconstructed. So they were burning tires at that place. Some minutes later, I saw the police. They came there and actually they were talking to the people in a polite manner, but the people refused to listen to them. So they started firing their guns.
This was Ashaiman on Monday, June 24. Residents protested because they were unhappy with the bad state of their roads. There was disorder. Some youth were arrested for their role in the protests. Could the protesters have done something differently to have their concerns addressed?
Even though they demonstrated, I think they overstepped their boundaries. Once you have demonstration, you don't need to be burning tires and all those kind of things they did. I think they could have demonstrated in a peaceful way.
If they were to write it, do it in a formal way by writing to the MP. At least the MP office is nearer to there. They can write and send to the office. At least they can do something about it. But burning tires and preventing people from passing that place It was too bad.
At least they should take their station master to go and sit with their MP, the MP of the area, so that they can talk to him about it. If he doesn't do anything, then they can go ahead.
Drivers say the bad roads has affected the lifespan of their vehicles, but it does not only affect them. School children using the road daily are also unhappy.
If it rains and you're just walking near it and a car passes, it will splash water on you. And some drivers, they will not even mind you because they know it's zero, so they don't mind you. And if you're in car, if you pass the road, the car do shakes, and now this road, some are scattered. So if you're in it, you see it'll be piercing your body and you may get hurt.
It's not comfortable. Sometimes when you're in the car, especially trotro, the car will be bumping up and down, up and down. So even our school kids get done, and some get dirty. The way the road is, it's not good. It's not good for us to be. I don't feel comfortable.
Are violent protests the way to get things done in Ghana?
They just send a plea to the government. The government will not going to listen and they just take their situation lightly. But once they demonstrate, the government gets to know how serious they are because they've taken the risk to stand up and also fight for their rights.
I think it was good for them to demonstrate that they were serious about the road, because the road has been there for so long, so it was necessary for them to take that demonstration so that the accident rate can reduce.
The area was calm on Tuesday, mostly because there were police officers to ensure peace and the roads are being graded.
What do you think about what happened in Ashaiman? Write to us and let us know. News Generation on Facebook. Now, those were just a few stories which made headlines during the week. Let's take a look at others.
Cabinet has approved the merger of Ghana Water Company Limited, GWCL, and the Ghana Urban Water Company Limited, GUWCL. It followed proposals from some staff of the GWCL for government to merge the two utility providers to cut down on the repetition of role they both perform and to enhance efficient water production and distribution. The Road Fund Secretariat is to launch investigations into claim that about 10 million Ghana cedis collected as toll from road users was unaccounted for. A recent report by the Auditor General's Department revealed 6 toll booth operators failed to account for the money collected between January and June 2010. The World Bank has ranked Ghana among the top 5 African countries with the most effective government policies and institutions. In its latest review of policies and institutions in sub-Saharan Africa, the World Bank says there is an overall stable environment for growth and poverty reduction, despite divergence across countries.
Now, in Ghana, it is estimated that more than 5 out of 10 babies die within the first month of life. This means thousands of babies do not get the chance to live for more than 28 days. That's according to UNICEF. The organization and the Japanese government are working together to offer some support to tackle the situation.
Previously, we used to put certain things into the umbilical cord of babies, give them water, and this was giving us problem. Sometimes they would turn their eyes, their face yellow.
Hawa Adam, who is 40 years old, and she recalls the hard time she went through to deliver 9 out of her 10 children at home. Although she did not lose any of them, her children were always ill.
We used to have problems with diarrhea, children falling sick, getting sepsis, a whole lot of problems.
More than half of infant deaths occur in the first month in northern Ghana. According to the Ghana Demographic Health Survey, 57,000 children under age 5 die every year. Most of these deaths are not reported in northern Ghana. The major causes of these deaths are infections. UNICEF, with support from the Japan government, has started a newborn care project in northern Ghana to help reduce the deaths. We met community health nurse Paul Bani, who benefited from the training by UNICEF. Paul attends to about 5,000 people in 5 communities in the Boko West district of the Upper East region. He provides antenatal and postnatal care for mothers and babies in the 5 communities.
I will say I have gotten to 85%. Because of this frequent visit every week and me meeting them and getting to know them more, I actually get to know them more and they also know me more. So we are now free. So I start the immunization very early. So defaulters,
Some mothers admitted they had seen a significant improvement in the health of their babies.
I'm very grateful for Paul's presence here because the time we used to give birth, we will become pregnant, we suffer through the pregnancy. Sometimes we give birth and they die.
Now, in 2012, the Newborn Care Initiative was introduced to 11 districts with a total population of 1.4 million people. It is expected that with further expansion, newborn deaths will be reduced over a period of 3 to 5 years. Time for a break. We'll be right back.
Give kids the taste they love and the nutrition they need. Daily Blue Band, Daily Grow. Sometimes a stained t-shirt can make you the happiest mom. Now Omo Multi-Active removes even tough stains in just one step. Best ever stain removal from Omo.
Welcome back to News Generation. By the way, have you liked our Facebook page yet? Please do so. It's facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. Now, judgment debt. Have you heard about it? It is a court ruling that orders someone who owes money to pay. Recently, the Supreme Court told company Waterville to refund money the Ghana government paid to it as judgment debt. So why was the money paid to Waterville in the first place?
The government should really take a second look at themselves, like, what are we doing if we can allow people to dupe us and cheat us, and we are supposed to be taking care of the country's finances, and we are just sitting down playing a little game.
The people who are in charge of the government money, I don't take them seriously. Some of them connive with the people who are who want to take the contract. So after they do such things, then they collect a percentage of the money that is given to them. So it must not be only one person or two people who should be signing the document. It should be done systematically.
People who are not ready to serve the government, they have to leave because there are lots of people around who want to serve the government, but those who are not ready have taken their place, and when they do that, they bring the name of the country down, and the country has to go higher because this is Ghana, this is not any other country.
The Supreme Court in a unanimous decision ruled that Waterville Holdings refund all monies paid by government as judgment debt for alleged breach of contract. The panel of 9 judges said the contract, which Waterville claimed to have had with government, did not receive parliamentary approval, hence could not be deemed valid. The court criticized the Attorney General's department for failing to defend the nation's interest in cases brought against it by individuals and businesses. Their conduct, the court said, led to the country paying huge sums of money as judgment debt, which could have been prevented. The Supreme Court commended former Attorney General Martin Amidu for contesting the illegal payments of monies to Waterville Holdings. Some have suggested a construction of a monument in honor of him.
For me, I believe that Martin Amidu, we should give him a reward
a great one. So he'll be happy he's a Ghanaian, because most Ghanaians, they'll do that and rather go around town saying, I did it.
The people who are just being patriotic, they're not doing anything for money, they're just doing it because they want to help Ghana. We should give them some kind of recognition and make them feel like you matter because you do this for Ghana.
He must be given free utilities.
We need people like this in Ghana so that they'll be able to stand up for the country, so the country can continue progressing.
What about those who are found to have played a role in the state losing money?
The people who are making Ghana lose large amounts of money must be brought to book and be dealt with, because the same money they are taking away from us is going to be used to develop the country into a better one.
I think people who know the work they are supposed to do and don't do it should be brought down from their posts, and the post should be given to people who can do the work better.
Strong views from some of you on this issue. Let's now go to Adelaide. She tells us what's up.
The Food and Drugs Authority, FDA, says it will arrest and prosecute persons who smoke in public areas and even managers of public areas. So what's up with the ban on smoking?
I think it is good because it can reduce the risk of other people getting sick. Because I know that if someone smokes, he is not the only person taking the risk. Other people inhaling it is also taking the risk. And I know some effects are like heart disease and other things. So I think it's good the government is doing that.
Hey, I think that the ban on smoking is good because smoking can lead to many respiratory diseases like lung cancer and kidney cancer. So this can lead to the death of many people in Ghana, and this can lead to the retardation of development in Ghana.
I think it's a good initiative, as smoking is not only hazardous to those who practice it, but also those who live around them.
I think it's very good because sometimes if people are found smoking and people are sitting by them, they may inhale the smoke, and sometimes it can cause skin diseases, maybe like cancer and air pollution.
I think it's very good. It's a very good initiative because when you enter some bars like that and they are smoking, you inhale it, it distracts the lungs. Yeah, and I don't see why one should smoke.
Well, I think it's beneficial because it stops people from smoking, and actually smoking is very dangerous to the health of an individual.
Smoking is a very bad attitude. It's a very lackadaisical attitude, and I think it also lures children to also smoke, because I've been seeing a lot of children standing around those who smoke, and when they are smoking, the children have been practicing it.
I think it's very good because it will stop people from giving out smoke, which is in the form of carbon monoxide, to others who are not smoking. And also it will help people abstain from, be able to prevent some diseases like lung cancer.
Some very interesting comments there from you on what you think about the ban on smoking in Ghana. Now, Azonto Ghost Part 1, 2 and 3, Ejako, Bengbentus, Atamochiman and many more makes you wonder how some movie producers come by their film titles. Well, News Generation caught up with two famous Ghanaian movie producers, Socrates Safo and Danfo B.A., and asked them what's up with all the titles.
Azonto Ghost in the house, yo.
Azonto Ghost, Inspector Lorraine, these are all titles of some movies available on the market. What has a ghost got to do with the Azonto, or what story does Akrantean Kwine tell?
Ghanaian movies are interesting, they are funny. Ghanaian movies is very nice and interesting, but sometimes they make the movie too long. Something like Chewa, from part 1 to part 13, it's too long.
How do producers come by such movie titles, and what do you think about them?
The movie titles are good, but sometimes they have to understand the movie before they give it the title. The title they give to the movie is not interesting and it's not nice. Something like Akrantean Kwine. I don't know the reason why they gave that title to that movie.
Some Ghanaian movies still sell on the market, despite the quality of stories they tell. Many Ghanaians have complained bitterly about the current trend of themes of some movies and the poor quality. Socrates Safo, a movie producer, however, thinks the movie industry has improved over the years.
Looking at where we started from and where we are now, we've made a lot of progress. We've improved on sound, picture, acting, even artist fees. So I think there's been massive improvements. The picture quality, I remember my first film was done with M7. And today we are using digital video now. Think of the highest quality of videos. We have it in Ghana.
Movie no yakumbi ya yebi but se sia 7 year career no kura na se sia de ed te sia fi anopa ye yifi awia ye yifi anumre ye yifi ahomache ye yifi omai musumu ya de kakra ade to no kura ni ho iti obi beba obeka se mekoto CD no office metena TV ho a ye yibi free.
Socrates also spoke about why movie producers do not produce movies for the youth.
But one area that we've not touched is films that is targeting the youth. Or we've also created opportunity for a lot of the youth to come in. Most of the time it is adults and the young ones, because we're talking mostly of love stories, because that is what is selling.
But Danfo BA Productions have come up with a movie which features young people.
Team organize your audition your PKB. It's your PKB na your kono. Team say na at the pabi of Bibi Papa Pa. They say ma me na dawa. Public no. Ekisime. Ekiyan kwala no. Yo makoye adwuma. But ya na at times no on future intimi.
Jennifer Brady 13 tells us about her role in the movie Gameli.
I'm a stepmother to Gameli and a mother of 4. I hated Gameli so much because of his prophetic dreams and because my husband loves him and dislikes my sons. So I hate him and maltreat him, and he was too quaint about what I was doing to him. So my son and I, we plotted against him.
Nothing happened to him. I just wanted him to speak to me. His dreams are making me uncomfortable.
Now, I'm sure many of you out there would like to be movie producers someday. So what would you name your movie if you ever shot one? Tell us, you know where to go. Time for another break. When we come back, what the world is talking about.
Cowbell milk is packed with essential vitamins and minerals for nourishment. Look. Build your body and brains.
Welcome back to News Generation. Now, hero or traitor? Most wanted man in the world right now would be Edward Snowden. He is a former employee of the Central Intelligence Agency. You might know them as the CIA. And he's running from the US government. But why? Well, the world is talking about him.
NSA and the intelligence community in general is focused on getting intelligence wherever it can by any means possible that it believes on the grounds of sort of a self-certification that they serve the national interest. Any analyst at any time can target anyone, any selector anywhere. You can't come forward against the world's most powerful intelligence agencies and be completely free from risk.
I think what Edward Snowden did was wrong because he leaked the country's secret out, which is not right. And what I think maybe the solution is the country should work on their low points.
I think that what he did was right because no reasonable person would do that without a reason. Maybe he might be at a gunpoint, that's why he did that. Or maybe there was something attached to what he did. So I don't think that he just stood up one day and then went to the opponent and then leaked the information to them.
30-year-old Edward Snowden made headlines globally when he revealed some secrets of the U.S. government from a hideout in Hong Kong. Now he's running from the most powerful government in the world. Edward is a former CIA employee who was later hired as a contractor for the National Security Agency of the U.S. He had access to documents on U.S. counter-terror surveillance programs, which he gave to newspapers to expose what he thinks are violations of privacy by the U.S. government. The programs collect large amounts of Americans' phone records and global internet data in the name of national security. The world is talking about him because he is believed to have more than 200 additional sensitive documents in laptops he is carrying. Any country that has the documents could use it against the U.S. government. The U.S. charged Edward Snowden with spying and stealing of government property in a bid to stop him from revealing more.
He linked information from America to Russia. So because those countries don't go together, he's creating more problems for them.
He will betray his country for a good reason, rather. So I think that he's warning the Russia to be aware of what the U.S. are going to do. So I think he should be protected.
The U.S. is also demanding that any country Snowden enters hands him over so that he can be sent to court. Edward left his hideout in Hong Kong for Russia, and since then, there have been rumors as to which country he will run to next. The Russian government, after initially denying knowledge of his whereabouts, confirmed his presence in a Russian airport. The catch? Edward is in a pre-immigration area of the airport, which means technically he is not in Russia. Edward Snowden's case is likely to cause problems between any country he runs to and the U.S. government. Ecuador, Cuba, and Venezuela are possible places he could run to whose governments are against the U.S. government and some of its policies. Already, relations between the United States and China have been hurt because China did not arrest him while in Hong Kong. Which country will accept Edward and where will he go next? The world is watching what has turned into a global game of hide and seek.
This is something that's not our place to decide. The public needs to decide whether these programs and policies are right or wrong.
As Edward Snowden behaves like Kweku Anansi and eludes the U.S. detectives and the international media, we ask, where in the world do you think he is? News Generation on Facebook. Well, those were some of the stories. Let's look at other international stories that made headlines this week. Nelson Mandela's granddaughter has said he is in stable condition, though he remains critically ill. The 94-year-old former South African leader was admitted to hospital nearly 3 weeks ago with a lung infection, but his health has recently worsened. Huge crowds have been gathering outside the hospital, many leaving messages of support and flowers for him. President Barack Obama has said he has a duty to children around the world to tackle climate change. Speaking in Washington, D.C., Mr. Obama set out his plans to cut out the amount of carbon waste the U.S. produces. He wants to limit emissions from power plants and get other countries to agree to stricter rules as well. Staff at a Manchester museum are puzzled by an Egyptian statue which has mysteriously started moving. The 10-inch tall statue was found in a mummy's tomb and has been at the museum for 80 years. Bosses filmed the 4,000-year-old figure slowly turning round by itself during the day. During the night, it stays still.
Ghana will host Zambia at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi for the last Group D qualifying for the 2014 World Cup. Both sides will battle for a place in the third round of the African qualifiers. The match will be played on Friday, 6th September 2013. The Black Stars lead the Group D on 12 points, 1 point ahead of Zambia. Andy Murray is into the fourth round of Wimbledon after a straight set of victory over Spain's Tommy Robert. The world number 2 won the match in just over 2 hours under the roof of Centre Court. This follows 7 former world number 1s kicked out of Wimbledon, including defending champion Roger Federer. International Cycling Union President Pat Marquardt says the Tour de France can now be won without drugs. Marquardt was responding to comments made by disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong. Armstrong, who cheated his way to 7 Tour wins between 1999 to 2005, told a French paper the race was impossible to win without taking drugs in that era.
Well, that's all for today. Tomorrow is Republic Day. What are you doing? Write to us and let us know. As always, I leave you with this inspirational quote. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell Milk.
Omo is even tough stains in just one step.
Daily Blue Band, Daily Growth.